So Eddie, what are your theories on Onward and Upward?
Well, I knew that John was interested in Three Stooges. He's been interested in it for years. And I knew that somehow he'd find a way of putting that in his cartoons, and I didn't think it would work. And I told him I didn't think it would work, because I said to him, John, you know, the Three Stooges, they start with, oh, I don't know, a rich guy says, hey, I need somebody to paper my walls, you know. And I wish I knew someone who could do it.
Christ! Speak of the devil.
So, are we starting together or what?
It's no, keep going.
Oh, anyway. So I said it wouldn't work because I said those things, you know, the Three Stooges have a beginning, and they almost don't have an end. The end might just be them riding
right
into
on
the
bulls.
Yeah.
Which I
so really,
several times.
it's a beginning and a middle. And the middle is just a bunch of gags. So if they're hanging wallpaper, and it has to be done, but you know, by the time the party's ready or something, the whole middle section is one gag after another. And I said to him that I didn't think you could do that in animation, especially in a half-hour format, because it's there's no you won't be able to put music on it. Each gag will be separate. You know, how do you combine them? The Three Stooges had these sound effects. To tell you the truth, I don't really know how the Three Stooges did it. It seems like magic to me. But very few people could reproduce what they did, even in live action. And I just predicted doom. But then again, I predicted Ren and Stimpy's voice wouldn't work with each other. So I have a horrible record with predictions. But anyway, to my and I thought it would run out of momentum, because when you have just a bunch of gags, which are not tied together by a story, by a really solid story, because they're really in a situation rather than a story, I thought, holy cow, it's going to run out of momentum. You know, it'll just run out of gas in the middle. It'll be a disaster. Although I thought if anybody could pull it off, it would be John. And boy, did he ever. And Kevin Coley told me something interesting, which I don't think John agrees with. And Kevin said, well, you know, that show came in a little bit short, and so we had to lengthen a few things. And some scenes benefited from that, and some scenes didn't. But you know, my favorite thing in that film is that in this extended middle, there's all these gags about, oh, I don't know, like the cigarette and Stimpy or the spoon on his head, you know, little kind of micro gags. And I didn't think those, you know, I'm not used to seeing that, because they're throwaway gags. Everybody says, oh, everything in a film should move the story forward, and I hate that theory. I think if you have an interesting digression, go for it. And here, the spoon on the head is just not a digression exactly, but it's not moving the story. Well, arguably maybe. But anyway, there's all these micro gags in it. I thought, you know, whenever you see something like that in a studio, usually it ends up on the cutting room floor. The audience never sees it.
Right.
And here, in the whole middle, there's a ton of those kind of gags. So that I thought this film represented a real breakthrough. It just had a lot of little sight gags, which is really what comedy is about. I think the big high-profile situations in comedy are not as funny as the little things that happen along the way. And this is full of things like that. And last but not least, my final theory, if I'm not hogging too much here, is that a lot of the animation that's around now is about nice suburban people. And I like the idea that Onward and Upward is about people who are worried about survival. I mean, there's something at stake here, you know. And Ren, when he finally gets the money to move out of the bum's mouth,
And into a spittoon.
and yeah, in the classier place, which is a spittoon, he's delighted. I mean, he's just frenzied about it. And they really want to move up in the world, you know. Ren is really into status, and man, that's real life. To me, real life is like Ulysses and you know, the land of the Cyclops and the sirens and all this. That's what life is. It's not little suburban things, you know, where you relate to the guy in the 7-Eleven or something. It's massive things that happen. You know, some girl that you think is beautiful, you can't get her. You know, you can't get food, you can't get shelter. It's the big things in life that really motivate me, and I assume everybody else too. And a lot of modern animation doesn't have that. But John's cartoons have this gritty earthiness that I miss in other animation. I'm so glad it's here.
Is it the gritty earthiness of snot and boogers?
Yes, you could say that.
Like choking down a globular booger?
I love that globular booger. People tell me, I just say, well, why don't you like this film? The ones who don't like it, just, oh, it's that globular booger. That's the thing. I just can't take that. I'm like, what do you mean you can't take it? It's one of the best things in the film. But you feel like smacking the audience sometimes. But.
Enjoy boogers. Enjoy gayness. Do it now.
Yes. And John did one of his finest drawings that I've ever seen him do of Ren with the cigarette holder in his hand.
Yes. Little collar.
For that, they're both sitting there enjoying the high life. So is Stimpy did.
What's Curly doing right now?
Curly?
I've been wondering, you spent this whole interview in your life.